Down on the Farm's Larry Marble. It's time for the 1245 edition of our program. We appreciate you listening on whatever platform you're doing so. Let's take a look at ag weather, courtesy of the good folks at McCoy's Building Centers, mccoys.com. We'll consult the San Antonio and Austin Weather Service office. Sunny and seasonable today. Temperatures like a 69 in Eagle Pass and a 64 in LaGrange, 70 in Llano, and a 69 in Pleasanton. As we look from Wednesday through Friday, we'll see our low temperatures go from 40 to 44 all the way through Sunday, when they will be, say, 55 to 63. Our highs on Wednesday would be 73 to 77, all the way up to some 82 and 84 highs on Saturday, and a few just that same on Sunday. So, neighbor, we're in for a warming trend. Neighbors, let's talk about a very helpful website, mccoys.com. That's McCoy's Building Centers. They're Project Central. In fact, you can go to their DIY ideas page and get all kinds of ideas, whether it's adding a deck or building a raised bed. In fact, their backyard projects icon is one of the best to tackle a weekend project. Outdoor spaces, just click on the deck design plans. Everybody has problems with a garage and workshop. Believe me, I know. Mine's pretty messy. Just hit the Storage Solutions icon. Or if you need yard care and landscaping help, Outdoor Plans is going to help you. And it's all at www.mccoys.com. That's McCoy's Building Centers all over this region. Find the one near you at mccoys.com. March corn, $5.96, even money up 5. March Kansas City wheat, $8.29 3/4, up 16 1/2. March number 2 cotton, $107.14, up 160. February live cattle, $136.25, up 27.50. March feeder cattle, $161.15, up 65. February lean hogs, $80.40, up 92.50. February West Texas Intermediate crude up 206, 70.67. Neighbor, there's your select commodities of ag interest. Neighbor Tom Nicoletti will be talking with Tracy Tomasic after this word from our Texas Farm Bureau insurance agencies about crop conditions, range conditions, and the panhandle. That all a part of Down on the Farm and Focus on Agriculture.
When we moved to Texas, we were like fish out of water. We didn't know anyone in our neighborhood until our Texas Farm Bureau insurance agent came to the house. She was so helpful and reassuring, a friendly face with that Texan hospitality I'd heard about. When we purchased a Texas Farm Bureau insurance policy, we knew we were making the right choice. We knew our family would be protected.
Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance today at tfbinsurance.com to find an insurance agent who's a true neighbor. Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Now here's Tom Nicoletti.
The winter outlook for Texas livestock, pastures, and forage. I'm Tom Nicoletti with Focus on Agriculture from the Texas Farm Bureau Radio Network. For this season's outlook, we go to Tracy Tomasic. He is Texas Farm Bureau Livestock Specialist. As we, Tracy, take a look at the next 3 months, 90 days across Texas, livestock conditions during the winter months. And what are you hearing and seeing as far as cattle, sheep, and goats and how they're faring going into these coldest months of the year?
Reports from across the state have quite a bit of variability. Pastures, the available forage that's still out there as we enter into the cold winter months, running pretty low in most places, and other than what should be expected as down in South Texas, the deep south part of the state, where the climate's generally a little more favorable for some winter forage growth.
Now, some of that winter forage up in the Texas Panhandle may not be as abundant due to recent December wildfires, so certainly producers have to deal with that as well.
Well, it's good that you mentioned that, Tom, because not only was there not much forage up there to start with because of the last 60 days across much of Texas, and then especially in the Panhandle counties, just been well below average rainfall going through the end of the fall months. So not only was it dry up there, but then what was available had some frost and had been cured dry and crisp with extreme wind that popped up last week, created some very challenging conditions that had some devastating fire outbreaks to go along with it. So farmers and the ranchers up there are experiencing some challenging issues that come with dry weather and high winds and the potential for wildfires.
That is TFB livestock specialist Tracy Tomasic. I'm Tom Nicoletti with the Texas Farm Bureau Radio Network.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance has protected fellow Texans with auto, home, health, and life insurance since 1952. With more than 260,000 square miles of land and 27 million people, that's a lot to cover. Whether you're wrangling cattle or wrangling kids, we're proud to protect Texans in all Texan ways of life.
Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance today at tfbinsurance.com to get insurance for Texans by Texans. Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Neighbor, Tuesday is Sheep and Goat Day in down on the farm country, and we have one more sheep and goat sale today in San Angelo at Producers and Cargyle. I spoke with Benny Cox late yesterday afternoon to see what he thought today's sale would be like. Benny, what did you see then?
Oh, mid-afternoon, we had about 2,200, which means that we could have 4,000. I was wrong last week. We had 7,200, and I figured we could have 65 or so. But anyway, depending on how these smaller groups hit us, we should have somewhere in that 35 to 4,000 range, I would guess. Being the last sale of the year, and we're going to skip a week, we won't have one next week. The market could improve some. We seen a little weakness last week with the big numbers that we saw. Everything was a little softer except maybe your slaughter ewes. That was crazy good on those, but they kind of took 10 to 15, some instances $20 off those slaughter lambs. The wool lambs that we had a number of those. I'd say it was steady with what we'd seen in the past 3 or 4 weeks. But anyway, we're going to fire up, have a sale tomorrow. We'll skip next week. We're going to skip 2 cattle sales. We won't have one Thursday. The first sale of 2022 will be January the 4th.
In the meantime, tell everybody how to get a hold of you.
Well, they can call me on my mobile. It's 325-234-4277. The office, same area go. 653-3371. Or they can always look at the web, which is producersandcargyle.com.
We appreciate it, Benny. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Hey, neighbor, here's a quick reminder from my friends at McCoy's. Western red cedar can be used in a variety of applications from siding to decking, even as indoor paneling. For folks ready to tackle a DIY project, red cedar is a great choice for decks and play sets, particularly because of its naturally occurring thermal properties which keep the wood cooler to the touch. That's no small feat on a summer day in the McCoy's States of America. Check out the building plans and videos at mccoys.com and get started on your next DIY project using Western Red Cedar. Available at McCoy's Building Centers. Go to mccoys.com for information. Find the McCoy's store near you. Neighbor, water has always been an issue for agriculture, whether it's livestock or row crop, but we have crops that do better with less water. Milo or grain sorghum is one. When the skies above western Kansas plains are feeling generous, there's no better time to be a dryland farmer. That's what Key Gamble of Kiowa County, Kansas, caused him to bet big on family sorghum fields with Pioneer 85 P44. They repaid him handsomely. His son Casey's field crested 244.03 bushels per acre, earning him the top bin buster yield in 2021 in the National Sorghum Yield Contest. There were winners within the state of Texas. The irrigated Tom Vogel of Hartley County had 241.18 bushels per acre. Neighbor, be sure to grab yourself a ice-cold bottle of water on the way out. We need you hydrated to come on back and eat Kolach with us at 12:45. Let's check the grains courtesy of John Tuggle. Milo through Corpus in December. March plus 85, 1207. Yellow corn in Corpus in December. March plus $1, 691. Hard red winter wheat to Houston in December. March plus 70, 883 and a quarter. Houston beans December delivery. January even money, 1291. 8,645 bale of Texas cotton. Averaged 101.79 yesterday. Prices went from $100.54 by the hundredweight to 103.04 by the hundredweight. Neighbor, that's it for the 1245 edition of the Best Darn Farm Show in 100,000 square miles of the great state of Texas. No brag, just fact. I'm Larry Marble. And if you're on the network, you get Kolach at 345. If you're not, tell your station you need your Kolach. I'm Larry Marble. You're my neighbor. Neighbor, good day to you. God bless.